So a number of people have asked about standard form. What does standard form mean? It means that the decimal point is always after one number, and then you times it by 10 to the power of something. So here we need to, the decimal point is actually there. It needs to move 2 places. So that's where the 2 comes from. So if we take 3.05 and times it by 100, we get 305. So another example would, if I had 62, that would equal 6.2 times 10 to the power of 1. So this is standard form. Now sometimes your calculator does that, which can be quite annoying. It actually puts everything in standard form and you swap it back. If you're not sure, what you can do is trial and error. So if I've got 3.05 times 10 squared, I've got my 305, so I know I'm right. Okay? Now this one here in standard form, the decimal point's here, because if it's not written, it's always there. And it's 1, 2, 3 to get it to there. So for this number, I've got to times it by 10 to the power of 3 to get back to there. Does that make sense? And again, to prove I'm right, I can go 2.918 times 10 to the power of 3, and I get my 2918. Okay, so that's standard form. Now, rounding to 2 decimal places. 2 decimal places is there. If this number is 5 or more, then this number would go up 1. That's rounding. But in this case, this is lower than 5, so you just chop it off. So that's 2 decimal places, 1, 2. This one here, to 4 significant figures. The SF is significant figures. So we need to take 4 significant figures. In this case, it ends up to be 2DP. 1, 2, 3, 4 significant figures. Now this here is a 6. So the 5 needs to go up by 1. It's called rounding. So that's why it's a 6 there. Okay? So that's rounded. It's a bit confusing that that's a 6 as well. Okay. Is there any other questions on number? Like, do you need to know how you do this? Do you want to see how that happens? Yeah? So it says increase by 5%. So I've got my $75 times 5 out of 100, or 5%, is the 375. But I need to increase it by that, so I need to add the 75 back in. The cheats way is to go 75 times 1.05, and you get the same result. Decrease 87 by 15%. I could go 87 times 15 out of 100, because that's what percent means, and I've got 13.05. And I could take my 87 and minus my 13.05 to get my 73.95. But the cheats way would be to go 87 times, and if I knew that 1 minus 0.15 is 15%, I can actually do it straight. That's kind of like, if you really get it. The 3% times 1%, you could go 1 divided by 100 times 3 divided by 100. There's my standard form. So I'm going to go Shift Setup and go back to display, normal 2, and there I've got it, oh, I divided by 300 instead of, so 1 divided by 100 times 3 divided by 100, and I get my 0.003, which if I times by 100, I get 0.03%. Okay? Does it, people know how to do that on the calculator? So you could go 7 times 7 times 7 minus 10 times 10. Or you could go 7 to the power of 3 minus 10 squared. Just depends on your calculator. Same answer. What's LCM? Lowest common multiple. What are the multiples of 15? 3, 5, 15, and of course 1. What are the multiples of 20? 1, 2, 2 times 1 times 20 is 20, 2 times 10 is 20, 4 times 5 is 20. Anything else? And so we're looking at the, sorry, those are the factors, not the multiples. All that banging. So hang on, let's get rid of all of that. Those are the factors. So the highest common factor I think was 5. We're actually looking at the multiples. Multiples of 15, 15, 30, 45, add 15, 60, add 15, 75. Multiples of 20, 20, 40, 60, 80. Lowest common multiple is 60. Okay, let's go and find those common factors. Prime factors. Where's our highest common factor? Must be here somewhere. Must be in the previous thing, is it? It's the prime ones. Here we go. Highest common factor. Factors of 15, 1 times 15, 3 times 5. Factors of 25. We've got 1, we've got 25, and we've got 5. 5's the 25. And so our highest common factor is 5.